Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs. Today is February 26th, 2016. And today I would like to talk to you with respect to economic survey. Day before yesterday, I spoke to you something about budget. Yesterday, exclusively about the railway budget. And today I am talking to you with respect to economic survey. So what exactly is this economic survey? So whenever we speak in terms of economic survey, in fact, this is the basis. This is the basis for the government to frame the budget for the next financial years. So, what is the meaning of this? Meaning, economic survey is presented before the presentation of the general budget. So, through this economic survey, the finance minister of India, so he will try to explain to the nation that what exactly the government has achieved. So, is there any increase in the GDP? If so, what are the reasons? If not, what are the reasons? So, what is the fiscal deficit? What is the revenue deficit? So many things are explained to the people, to the nation by the governments. So, this is what exactly happens through the so called economic survey. And that economic survey has been presented. So, kindly remember this one. Whenever you present the budget, I am talking about the general budget. General budget, before the presentation of the general budget, economic survey will be presented by the finance minister. Now, who will prepare the economic survey? So there is one important person. He is considered to be the chief economic advisor. Chief economic advisor, you must be knowing the name of this gentleman. I will show you the name after some time. Arvind Subramaniam. And Arvind Subramaniam is the chief economic advisor. It is his responsibility to prepare economic survey. So through this economic survey, various aspects will be coming into the picture. Is it okay? And what exactly the government has achieved with respect to the economic growth, and what will be the possibilities in the coming year and the coming couple of years, everything will be given by the government. But one thing what worries India since beginning is that, of course, it is a very common concept, that is with respect to the fiscal deficit. So before I talk to you with respect to fiscal deficit, I would like to show you the document once, then we'll go ahead. Please have a look at this. Look at the document. Economic Survey 2016. This is the basis for the budget starting from April 1st, 2016. Is that okay? Right. This is prepared by the chief economic advisors. And right now, the gentleman is Arvind Subramanian. Look at the third part. Indian economy is expected to grow by 7% to 7.5% in the coming financial years. Hope you are getting this. In the coming financial year means, you already know, I explained you, 2016 and 17, it is going to be grow by 7% to 7.5%. Hopefully you can see on the screen very clearly. And it will become 8% in a couple of years. So slowly it is increasing. It's a good sign. Is that okay? And look at the fourth point. For this particular financial year, present financial year I'm talking about, 2015 and 16. See, when it comes to our preparation, you have to be very clear about the financial years. Whether I'm talking about the present financial year or the forthcoming financial year, you have to be very, very clear. Now, if you look at the point number 4, I have given 2015 and 16 means I am talking to you with respect to the current financial year. And in this particular financial year, the fiscal deficit is seen at 3.9% of the GDP. Right? 3.9% of the GDP. It seems this is achievable. Now, so let me talk to you with respect to this one. I would like to tell you what exactly is the fiscal deficit. Now, During our Indian polity classes, while talking about the budget, I explained you very clearly what is budget. It talks about both expenditure and income. Instead of using the word income, we also used the word revenue. Is it okay? Now, so what is the meaning? On one hand, government is spending the money. On the other hand, the government is also collecting the money. So you should make a balance between these two. So what is expected from our budget is that our budget is expected to be balanced budget, meaning whatever the government is spending, you try to collect equal amount from the people. This is the basic idea of the budget. During that time, I told you that type of budget where income and expenditure is equal is called balanced budget, and that balanced budget is considered to be the best budget. Best budget. So neither you are spending too much nor you are collecting too much. So equally you are doing it. If the government collects more money, it will become surplus budget. So that is not good. If you are collecting more money means you are putting more pressure on the people. If you cannot collect more money, if you cannot collect the money that is fixed for the financial year, that shows the inefficiency on the part of the government. Is it okay? And when it comes to the fiscal deficit, it's a very common thing for countries like India. But what is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit is nothing but whenever expenditure is more and you are not in a position to achieve the targets of your collections. Collections means taxes. So there is a gap between the expenditure and income, and expenditure is always high. And when it comes to the income, we need to collect the incomes that were proposed in the budget. But unfortunately, most of the times when it comes to the collection, it's a failure on the part of the government, hence it is reduced. The gap between the expenditure and the income. Is that okay? And whatever the loss you are making, that is called the fiscal deficit. Kindly remember, when I'm talking about the fiscal, I'm talking about the money. Is that okay? Simple. For example, see, government has spent, example I'm telling you, 20 lakh crores and collected 15 lakh crores. Example I'm telling you. Otherwise, let me make it so simple and very, very short. Government is spending 1000 rupees, but the government has collected 800 rupees in the form of the taxes. What is the difference? 200 rupees. That 200 rupees is considered to be the fiscal deficit. Is that okay? Expenditure is exceeding the revenue. Whatever the gap that is there, that is called the fiscal deficit. Is it okay? Very, very important. The government is collecting the money. See here. So when we talk about the budget, even the government borrowings, that is also included in the part of the income. But when I am talking about the fiscal deficit, we are not including the borrowings. The government will borrow from Reserve Bank of India. The government will borrow from World Bank and other international institutions. I am not including in the fiscal deficit. Is that okay? So now, hopefully, I am very clear with respect to fiscal deficit. So whenever you come across with the word fiscal deficit in future, you just recollect these words. Is it clear? The total expenditure of the government exceeding the revenue. Whatever the gap you are talking about, that is deficit, that is fiscal deficit, meaning money. Is that okay? Hope you are following this one. And kindly remember one important thing. Fiscal, whenever I am talking about fiscal deficit, I am always excluding the borrowings. I am not including any borrowings in this. Okay, let me have some water. Right, I'll show you the document now, but have a look at this. So what are the reasons for fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit in the sense, the reasons means, one is the revenue deficit. Second one is the major hike in the capital expenditure. Sometimes what may happen, the government, say for example, is planning to spend 1,000 rupees. Only for your clarification, I am giving you this is small figures. Otherwise, the government is spending every year lakhs of crores. Lakhs of crores is being spent by the government. This time it will increase. We'll see it on 29th of February. Sometimes what will happen, the government is planning for spending 1,000 rupees, examples. So because of the situations are demanding, the government may be forced to spend more money. See, for example, 1,200 rupees, 1,300 rupees. At the same time, because you decided to spend 1,000 rupees, you decided to collect 1,000 rupees only. Sorry, because of any reason, because of any reason, the government is successful in collecting 1,000 rupees, but because the expenditure has increased, again there is a gap. Again there is a gap. Is that okay? That is also one of the reasons for the fiscal deficit. So we cannot stop the government. The government also cannot stop spending because you need to spend. The demand is such. Obviously, that is also leading to the fiscal deficit. Is that okay? Another reason for fiscal deficit is the revenue deficit. Okay, revenue deficit. What do you mean by revenue deficit? When you have the target of collecting 10 lakh crores, otherwise, let me put it very simple. When you have the target of collecting 1,000 rupees, instead of collecting 1,000 rupees, you have collected only 800 rupees. Meaning the government did not achieve the target of collecting, target of getting the revenue. That is called revenue deficit. Hope you're following. Revenue deficit is one of the reasons for fiscal deficit. Over expenditure by the government on the name of the developmental activities is also another reason for fiscal deficit. The more you keep this fiscal deficit under control, the more will be the economic growth. Hope you are following me very clearly. Very, very, very important points I'm talking to you. That's the reason why budget is important. Indian economy is important. Is that okay? Sometimes we don't get the jobs. We keep on blaming the government. But why? What are the reasons? Agriculture failure happens. Imports will increase. Exports will decrease. So what exactly is happening behind all these things? So you need to know what exactly is the role of the monsoons. We blame the God. Is right? We blame the God and we don't blame the human beings for spoiling the whole atmosphere and making it polluted. That's the reason why having the knowledge of the economy is a must. Most of the times we discuss about the political issues and other issues, but unfortunately, the discussion on economy is getting restricted only to the fewer sections. People are bothered when we talk about the budget. People will think about how much is the taxes have been increased. What is the new tax that has been imposed? Apart from that one, so many are restricting themselves to think beyond that one. But as the students of civil service examination, because you are going to play very, very important role in the society, it is for you, it's a must that you have to learn all the concepts. Then what will happen? So we may stop blaming the government for each and everything. Is it okay? For example, say government is failure, it is not collecting the money. Instead of that one, why every person can't be responsible and why can't he pay the taxes on his own? If all the people are paying the taxes in time as proposed by the government, then what happens? The revenue collection will be better and that money can be utilized by the government for the developmental activities. In later classes, I will tell you. Sometimes you must be knowing about this Vodafone and all these things. Tax evasion, lots of money has to come to the government. So much of money, 5 lakh crores is pending because of the various companies. So this is the revenue that you are supposed to get, but the government is not getting. Imagine 50% you get in this one. What type of developmental activities can be done? So who should be blamed? System. There are so many loopholes. I am not saying that in India we don't have laws, rules, and regulations. But at the same time, we have so many loopholes in the existing system. That's what I'm saying. Is that okay? Unemployment, government is not giving me a job. Should I keep on blaming the government? In some states, you will see some people will give it. There are 10,000 vacancies in the government, but the government is not releasing the notification. Come on, fill up the vacancies, go for the agitation. No, that is not the way. If the government is not filling the vacancies, means imagine a situation. If one person is given a government job, if one person is given a government job, or 100 members or 1,000 members are given the government job, starting from day number one, the government has to pay money, pay the salary to him. But where is the money because of this deficit? Especially this problem we can see almost in all the states. That is the reason why so many vacancies are kept pending. Government cannot dare to do this. Hope you are getting this. So, meaning it is not one aspect. So many aspects are revolving around this. That's the reason why understanding the economy is very, very important. Is that okay? So, depending on the availability of the time, I will talk to you various aspects, even on the economy during our current affairs sessions. Is that clear? Now, so the reasons for, so we understood why economic survey, number one, we understood. Number two, what is fiscal deficit? We understood. Number three, what are the reasons for fiscal deficit? First one is the revenue deficit. We know what is the revenue deficit now. Second one is the over expenditure by the government. Is that okay? Next. Next, I will open the document. Now I want you to look at this. Right? I think we have already seen this. What is fiscal deficit? We have seen this is the total expenditure of the government exceeding the revenue, but it is excluding the borrowings. The reasons for fiscal deficit are: one is the revenue deficit, second one is a major hike in capital expenditure. This is nothing but what is revenue deficit. Government's actual net receipts are lower than the projected receipts. Government will say something, we are going to collect so much of tax, but when it comes to the reality, it will be in a position to collect less than that. That gap is called the revenue deficit. So another thing we have, that is the what is the capital expenditures? What is capital expenditure? The important one again, this is the expenditure incurred by the government to create the long term assets like buildings, factories, and other developments. Is that okay? Look at this. In 2016 and 17, it is expected to be challenging from the fiscal point of view. It is going to be challenge for the government. Credibility and optimality argue for adhering 3.5% of the GDP fiscal deficit target. Okay, so it should not be more than that of the GDP. So that will be the target. Okay. You have come across with another word called GDP. Hopefully you know that. Kindly see here. If somebody asks you what is GDP, don't just say it is a gross domestic product. We are not asking for the full form of the GDP. Everybody knows it in the country, including the kids. Is that okay? Since you are the students who are preparing for the civil service examination, you have to be very clear with the concepts. Okay, GDP. gross domestic product. So this is nothing but the total value in money form, the total value of all the goods and services produced in a country in a given year. Sometimes it may be calculated quarterly, sometimes it may be calculated half yearly, sometimes it is yearly. Is that okay? Important. The total value of the goods and services produced in a country in an year is called the gross domestic product. Is that okay? And I'll be explaining you all these things. So whenever the situation arises, but I want you to be very, very clear with all these things. Hope you are getting me. Each and everything is important. For example, here, when it comes to our preliminary examination or the main examination, even in the preliminary examination also, analytical questions are being asked. Okay, like for example, reasons for fiscal deficit. They will give you 1, 2, 3, 4. Reasons means you need to analyze. So that is possible only when you read the subject as a whole. That's the reason why sometimes some people will read for the, I want to clear my preliminary examination. Later I will prepare for the main examination. That approach is absolutely wrong. It's a wrong approach. It's a comprehensive, integrated. So you need to do for both at the same time. Hope you are getting me. That's how you actually have to prepare. That's the reason why some people will clear the examination and majority of the people, they are not successful. That all depends on the levels of preparation. That all depends on the levels of preparation. Am I clear? But you need not worry. So we are there for you. So we'll take care of you. Right. Next, look at this. So I'm going further. So when it comes to the inflation, the finance minister said that. Another word we have come across with, that is the inflation. What do you mean by inflation? So many times you might have heard this word inflation. Is that okay? Simple concept. Price raising. But say for example, if you want to purchase something today, so that may be costing 100 rupees. Tomorrow if you go to the market, it may become 120 rupees. That is not inflation. That is not inflation. The prices, the cost may increase or decrease. On day-to-day basis, you are not supposed to calculate that. That's the reason why when we talk about the inflation, inflation is nothing but the continuous price rise of the commodities over a period of time. It is a persistent rise in the prices of the commodities over a period of time, not 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It should keep on increasing for a period of time. Then only it is called inflation. Otherwise, no. That's the reason why. So being the students who knows the subject, don't use this term inflation just like that. It is being misused most of the times in countries like India. Is it okay? Very, very important. But it's a very serious issue. Inflation is a very serious issue. So because you are taking away, inflation takes away my purchasing powers. Is it not? I may have some money today. So with that money, I may be able to purchase a particular product at the rate of 100 rupees. But if you make it 110, 120, 130, 140, if you keep on increasing the rates, then what will happen to my purchasing capacity? My purchasing capacity will come down. Is that okay? That's the reason why it's a responsibility of the government to keep the prices under control. How does it keep it under control? So many mechanisms are there. I'll tell you later. But otherwise, so it is a responsibility of the government to maintain the prices under control so that the people should be able to purchase that. If you keep on increasing, maybe allied sections of the society who are very rich, they may purchase, but what about the other people? Hence, the government is expected to look towards the common people first. If you make it 100, 200, 300, 500 also, it does not make any difference for the people who are rich. But what about the common people whose percentage is very high in India? Getting this? That's the reason why whenever the prices have started being increasing, opposition parties will raise the voice against the government. People will also raise the voice against the government. Is it okay? Inflation is never a good sign. Is it okay? So regarding that, what this gentleman said today, the finance minister, let me show you. Look at this inflation. CPI, it stands for Consumer Price Index. CPI inflation seen around 4.525% in 2016 and 17. This is going to happen. Low inflation has taken hold. Confidence in price stability has improved. See, this is what he said today. Confidence in price stability has improved means, according to the finance minister, the people of the country started gaining the confidence on the government that this government is putting the prices under stability. Good. Is it not? That's what he said today. Expect RBI to meet 5% inflation target by March 2017. He also said prospect of lower oil prices over medium term likely to dampen inflationary expectations. Low inflation has taken hold, right? I think this I have typed again. Actually, let me remove this one. In fact, this is not a necessity. Okay, I'm removing this now. Look at this. So next one is a current account deficit. What exactly is current account deficit? So another important term, and what exactly the finance minister has said regarding this, I'll tell you. But you might have heard this word current account deficit so many times. What is this? Deficit, loss. Is it not? If I'm spending 100 rupees and if I'm earning 120 rupees, I am making profits. 20 rupees is the profit for me. But if I'm spending 100 rupees and earning 80 rupees means what? Deficit. 20 rupees is loss. Similarly, when you talk about the current account deficit, is it okay? So what exactly is this? Now, see this. Current account deficit in the sense, you know what are the imports and what are the exports. We export and we also import. When we export, meaning we are manufacturing something in India and we are sending that across the borders so that the other nation which is receiving our products has to pay me the money, pay the country the money. Meaning the more we export, the more revenue we get. Am I right? That's the reason why this is the place where industries will play the crucial roles. Manufacture here with quality. That's also important, with quality, and send it across, then you will be earning lots of money. Am I clear? Point number one. And whatever the products we do not have, so that will be importing. Is that okay? So meaning importing means something is coming to India from across the borders. If some products are coming, services are coming from across the borders, we need to pay for it. More is the import, more we have to pay. Is that okay? Imports will lead to expenditure and exports will lead to income. Yes or no? Okay? So because we are doing the trade with some other nations, business. And when these imports and exports are equal, that is a balance. Sometimes what will happen, exports will exceed imports. Exports will exceed imports when we are becoming surplus. Is it okay? We are becoming surplus. That is called surplus current account. But most of the times what is happening is that we are importing more and exporting less. What is happening? Deficit. That deficit is called current account deficit. Is it clear? That is called current account deficit. The more is the current account deficit, more are the problems in our economy. Right? Hopefully today you are clearing so many doubts, no issues. Okay? Look at this. Current account deficit. The value of import of goods, services, income from investments is greater than the total value of exports. Imports are more than the exports. And for the year 2016 and 17, the current account deficit is seen around 1% to 1.5% of the GDP. Is it okay? If possible, you are required to remember this. India needs, moment, India needs to prepare itself for a major currency readjustment in Asia in the wake of a similar adjustment in China. Gradual depreciation in rupee can be allowed if capital inflows are weak, meaning if the inflows are weak, then you can go for the depreciation of the rupee. Okay, these are the measures taken by the government. Look at this. When it comes to the taxes, what is happening? Proposes widening tax net from 5.5% of the earning individuals to more than 20%. So more people will be brought under the tax net. Obviously, what is happening? You are going to earn more. The revenue to the government will increase. After all, the government is spending. So obviously, you need to look for the money to spend. And one easy mechanism is to bring the people into the tax net. Is that okay? That is the reason why one of the suggestions is that, for example, the tax exemption limitations will increase year by year. People will be happy. From 1.5 it becomes 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs to 2.5 or 3 lakhs a year. If you keep on increasing this, the people who are earning below that one need not pay any tax. One suggestion given is that don't increase that. Don't increase that. For example, you fix it 2.5 lakhs. So, meaning up to 2.5 lakhs, if a person is earning in an year, he need not pay any tax. He need not pay any tax. But if the government increases this 2.5 lakhs to 3 lakhs, what is happening? The same person who is earning 2.4 lakhs may be earning 2.75 lakhs the next year. So he was exempted from paying the tax. Again, he is exempted in the next year also. As you increase this, the limitation, more number of people will not come under the tax net. That's the reason why don't increase it. Okay, it may not be a happy thing for a common man, but the government has to do something. Is that okay? So that is the reason why don't increase the restriction, don't increase the limitation, just to stop there. So that what is happening, if I'm earning 2.4 lakhs in a year, so maybe for this time I may not be paying the tax. And if you don't increase this 2.5 lakhs, next year I may be earning 2.75 lakhs, 2.8 lakhs, or 3 lakhs. So then the person who is earning more than that, he will be coming under the tax net and that will become the revenue. So that is the reason why encourage the people to work more and earn more. If the people start earning more, they will be coming under the tax net and the revenue to the government will increase. Is that okay? Getting it? See here, certain things in, especially in Indian economy, uh, sometimes we feel it's a difficulty to understand. But the moment you start understanding, you love the subject. Such a great subject. because it will decide about the progress of the nations. Why so many projects are not being implemented? Where is the money, first of all? Where is the money? Money is not there, and existing money, the politicians and administrators are eating nothing but the scams. That is our money, whatever they are eating. Is it okay? So many measures have to be taken place. That's the reason why, especially when you are reading Indian economy, please be patient. If you did not understand any concepts, then read again, read again till you understand. Is it okay? Unlike other subjects, you just cannot rush through Indian economy. Once you understand the concepts, then it will become, you will enjoy. I know that most of the people, they read political issues, they read sports, they read um, cinema, right? Sanjay Dutt has been released. Now, again, he will enter into movies. Is that okay? Again, the movie will be released. So, these are all the very important and interesting things for the people. India won the cricket match. Good, interesting. Okay. Smriti Irani shouted in Rajya Sabha against all the opposition party members. Interesting. But when it comes to inflation, GDP, fiscal deficit, sometimes, for most of the people, it may be boring because of the concepts. But I want all of you to understand these concepts. Is it okay? Be patient, read slowly. If you did not understand in one video, please watch the video once again. Is it okay? But you cannot give up. I love all the subjects except economy. No, because economy will also carry the marks. In the interview, economy questions will be there definitely. You may be asked what are the reasons for fiscal deficit, what India should do to contain inflation. These all may be the questions in interview. Then how do you answer? You just cannot say that, sir, I don't know. I never read economy. I was not interested in economy. No. Getting me? That's the reason why you have to be very careful. Is that okay? Our examination itself is a big examination, and economy itself is big. You have to be more patient. Am I clear? So, with this note, I'll be stopping here, and we'll meet in the next class. And I thank you, one and all, for being with me this evening. I wish you all the very, very best. Take very good care of yourself. Thank you. Good night.